Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a collective reading. And just know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. All right. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So we do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play those karmic themes to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing, why you're attracting this person into your life. The reason why I like to do these type of readings is because most of the time we're attracted to karmic mates, and karmic mates, there's all different types, but the past life karmic mate have the potential to do the most I want to say damage, but like it can really create a lot of karmic consequences for us if we're not careful. So understanding how we contribute to the imbalances within the connection allows us to see what we can do to shape shift the energy, since there's many different realities that play out at one time. And you're the alchemist of your life, right? So if we see that we're going to go into a karmic cycle that keeps us stuck in a karmic loop of disempowerment, well, obviously we don't want to, we want to do something different, because staying in a place of disempowerment means that we're in a place of lack, limitation, not having enough, feeling not good enough. So again, that's out of alignment with our true energy, and our true energy is love. So shadow healing is really integrating those fragmented pieces of self anywhere that we've detached and disassociated from the energy of unconditional love. Now, before I get started, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box. You can also find not just the word of the video, which again, you'll need that if you want to enter into any free reading with me. You'll also have to like the video and subscribe to the channel, but you'll find my group Shadow Healing Coaching Program, which is going to be on Vidme, and that it's going to be just $35 a month. You get my group coaching, which is inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and a lot of healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma. We do it in a group setting. We do it with oracle cards, and we do a lot of different clinical exercises as well as spiritual exercises to help you recondition your body, mind, and spirit. It's really fun. It's a supportive atmosphere, and it's a way to stay consistent, because a lot of times we wouldn't want to do the actual healing modalities, right? Healing doesn't feel good. We have to change patterns, and it's easier to do that with people in a supportive atmosphere. And just for $35 a month, you don't just get my shadow healing coaching program and my transforming trauma podcast, but you get hundreds of other content creators, because on this platform, $35 going towards becoming part of the platform, it makes it possible that we actually get paid because we have a subscription model like this. So, like, again, it's a win-win, because you get not just so much more content, because the platform's a combination between Mind Valley, YouTube, and Netflix. I mean, literally, it's a monster of a platform, you're able to make money on it. You're able to, yeah, even if you don't have content, you can make money on it. There's a lot of different ways to enjoy the platform. You get a lot of material you want to learn, and not just within spirituality, but many different genres. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, that you want to learn, but you need to make money, well, check out the Vidme link and sign up. We're launching at the end of the month. And just $35 a month. You'll also see my one-on-one coaching, and you will see my website coaching link. All right, we're going to jump right on in. And we always start with the word of the video. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull. It's the undermining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Sometimes I pull two. We'll see today. I mean, it depends on what I feel. Fanatical. I feel like someone feels someone like is over the top about you, I feel like, but I also feel like someone feels like you're fanatical within your job, within your career, within, so you're not really paying much attention. And fanatical can seem like bad, but it's all just over the top. It's like over the top, over the like, but I'm feeling like the fanatical that this person is tapped in with you is more like they're not happy, like it more like of an obsession of what are you doing? Where are you going? Like they're disgusted with themselves. They're disgusted with the state of this connection right now. They just get just disgusted. And I feel like, that they're just not, that they hold this obsessive energy towards you, but then they're not feeling good over what has transpired, is what I feel like. Because whatever's transpired has got them thinking about how they treated you and knowing, that you probably look at them as disgusted. You're disgusted with them. So they're disgusted with themselves. So, which means that they're actually looking back on the way that they treated you. Let's actually see what happened, what transpired of this person so over the top. Again, well, they didn't let you in. They didn't give you anything. They breadcrumbed you. You didn't feel involved in anything regarding their life. Your opinion did not matter. That's what it felt like. Like they just kept you out. And you just felt like this person lied all the time. You didn't really know whether or not you didn't know whether they were really single. You didn't really know whether they cared. There was always a sense of just not knowing that you felt like you had been living a lie when you were with them too, because they would say one thing and do something else, or that you found out something else. So it's like, was it real? Was it not? Like, I feel like the connection was real because this person wouldn't be so obsessive, but it was more about control and dominance. And it's like that's why you're disgusted, and that's why this person's disgusted also, because in that they could have really, had a good relationship here, but I feel like their trauma, affected this relationship. And I also feel like you have trauma and how they took out their trauma onto you, it like did something to you, like activated past trauma that you have from maybe not even another relationship, maybe the way that you were brought up, just you have unresolved trauma. And like this person took out their trauma onto you. And in that, like it made you feel bad about yourself as if something like, do you love me? Do you not love me? Do you like me? I feel like this person's angry. It's like it's not that they didn't have feelings. It was more about, again, control, like obsessive control. Somebody that's fanatical is someone that's like very domineering, someone that's very over the top about it. But the disgust is the fact that they didn't act like it. It was, again, more like keeping you out, controlling you, making you feel bad, really, and possibly making you feel bad, hoping that you wouldn't go anywhere. Again, where it's like you felt like you couldn't trust them. You couldn't trust them because this person never took responsibility. You tell them how you feel, you would tell them what you needed. It's like you just got tired of taking the blame when really the relationship wasn't working because they weren't putting in the time. They weren't, they would blame you for your reaction and not, again, take responsibility for how they did it, how they treated you. That's really what it is. And you just got tired of the abusive treatment, and the abusive treatment where this person like, it has a lot of unhealed wounds from the past and it gets into a relationship with you and they take out their anger, their resentment onto you by keeping you out, not really bringing you into the relationship, lying to you. So telling you partial truths, keeping, leaving the important parts out of a conversation. So you can't really make the best decisions for yourself. It's the way that this person's manipulating you. And then blaming you, making it like you're difficult when, you're like, no, you don't really let me in, and you manipulate. So it's like being in a one-sided relationship that I don't have control over my life. That's what it felt like. It was all about control. Now, sometimes that happens just because of, not because the person doesn't like wants to be toxic, it's because of their own abuse that they've gone through. But nevertheless, you're still going to get the same, results, negative results. I'm looking for a specific deck here. We want to see, what is this person doing now? Because we see what they did, but we want to see again. I feel like they're fanatical because they can't control you. And the fact that you're disgusted with them now is again making them feel disgusted about themselves, almost like they can't move forward and they don't like being left in this energy, especially since they are so obsessive and want to like dominate and control, and they're fanatical so over you. Well, what we see is that they're burdened. Now, I think that they're burdened by the thoughts of how they treated you. And they're impulsive. So it's like they almost are not, they're trying not to think about it. That's what I feel like. I feel like when this person thinks about how they treat you, they're burdened by it. And so then they get emotional and then they become impulsive. And that impulsive is where their addictive behavior comes out. So they could be doing anything, and they could be doing anything from, being in a place of, you know, uh, you know, anything, anything from an addiction to a different relationship to, to anything when a person is like in escapism and they don't look at what they do. Well, again, they're afraid of rejection. Um, there's a sense of they have a lot of anxiety. So they're not really like when we ask, what are they doing? It's like they're not doing anything. It's like they're just like focused on that trauma, the trauma, whatever trauma that they went through as well, because like I said, this person has unresolved trauma and they took it out on you, but you also have unresolved trauma, so it activated that trauma. So it goes back to that. So this person's trying not to think about you because they know how they treated you, and they also know that they've lost control. So they're really afraid of rejection, so they're not trying to think about it, but they are burdened by it. And so we know again that the addiction behavior comes out. But what happens is almost like this person has so much anxiety that they get stuck in stupid where they don't do anything. It's like because they don't know what to do. And so this person we know is stuck in their trauma. It's like reliving that same experience over and over and over and over and over and over again. And we wonder, like, again, well, what then then what is it that they can keep on doing, to create that? And so we want to know. And so we like, what do they do? Like, because they're stuck in stupid, person can't just shut off. They're stuck in frozen, and we see again the addiction, which I knew that there was going to be some sort of addiction or some sort of um behaviorism. Well, that just kind of flipped over. So it's like more about them manipulating. So I feel like this person is fanatical, which means I am so obsessive. I want to I want to figure out what's going on because I've lost control. And I lost control because, you're like, you kept me out of the relationship. You didn't really care whether I was in the relationship or not. You want to control me, but you don't really want to be in a relationship with me. And now it's like it said, because they weren't really expecting to feel so hard. And I feel like they're burdened by the fact that you're not in their life. It bothers them because they know that they're deserving of it. I don't know, understand why this person thought that they were going to be able to treat you badly. Like you said, I just feel like they didn't keep you in their life. They didn't invite you in their life. And then they're actually upset that you just said, okay, and you moved on with your life. It's almost like they got triggered because you're okay with it. Like you're not making a big stink about the fact that, you know, they jerked you around a little bit. You almost, did you care? Did you not care? It's almost like it affects this person in that way. And they've never been presented with that type of scenario. Usually this person acts the way that they do and people, chase after them. You put them in a situation where you're like, I see exactly who you are. I don't want this, and left, you know? So this person has become very obsessive. And so they are trying to come back and manipulate, but their emotions are getting the best of them. They are trying to suppress their emotions and not think about you. But what we see here is the person that does not have very healthy coping mechanisms at all. And understand it's the universe is even getting involved. It's like there are messages being exchanged through music and movies. So I feel like everything reminds this person of you. They're trying not to think about you. But the more that they try not to think about you, the more that they actually, like, again, do outside things, are impulsive to, again, escapism. The alcohol or drugs is just one thing that this person does to, you know, um, to not seem vulnerable, to not have to like actually be transparent. And the reason why is because this person they feel abandoned. They often feel like others, people let them down, leave them. So they don't really give 100% in a relationship. However, they expect you to give 100% in a relationship. And that's where the problem comes into play. And so, that's why this person is like, they're confused. They don't really know what to do. They're going through like a dark night of the soul right now. Nothing in their life is making sense. And so it's like because they're actually changing to whether they want to or not, like you said. And it's because there's this thing where they didn't expect to have the feelings that they have for you. It's like, and they become so obsessive. And it's because they actually do feel guilty. They don't like to feel disgusted about themselves, but you made them feel that way because you didn't create a big stink. You didn't fight for them. You didn't yell for them. You didn't say, I'm so desirable for you. You didn't do any of that. You would have needed to do that for this person to justify. They didn't do it. And so what's happening is they're trying not to think about it. They are thinking about it, and they try to manipulate their way back in because again, words have hurt them. And the truth of the matter is, unless they're going to come back correct, they're not going to have a chance in the world. It's like this person has a problem being transparent, and so they're still trying to manipulate a little bit. But it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. It means that this is the way that they know how to navigate a relationship. They're just so wounded. They need healing. Please don't give up on me. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. Like I said, they have feelings and they know that you're like over it. They know, listen, that's why they're like obsessive about it. They're obsessive about it because I feel like by you actually taking your power back, you activated their trauma. It's again, they made you feel empty, but that's because they're empty on the inside. They didn't give you any anything that you needed on an emotional level because this person can't do it. They can't do it because of their trauma. They kept you out as a way of control, but it was abusive. And if you had a low self-esteem, well, you would have taken on that burden, but you didn't. So now they're burdened, and that's what bothers them. It's like you got tired of being treated like a child and being scolded out at. Of course you got disgusted. And that's why this person has anxiety because, you weren't putting up with it. But that still doesn't mean that they don't have a soul connection. They do. It's again, there's messages being exchanged through music and movies. So this person's trying not to think about you, But the more that they try not to, the more that they do. But I believe that that stimulates them to be like their anxiety gets worse. And their anxiety gets worse because, again, they're not doing anything about it. And they know, eventually you're going to find somebody else, number one. Number two, they would have to be transparent. They don't like to have to be that way because they have fear of abandonment. But what we see here is that this person is actually abandoning themselves. And they abandon themselves through checking out for a long time, through addiction, and that makes them lazy. And again, so about they letting their emotions dictate their life, where then you're seeing other impulsive energies. So this person may come back in and try to manipulate, but not just yet because they're going through a dark night of the soul. And that dark night of the soul is activating like not just this experience of how they treated you, but a lot of other things that, are either not working in this person's life or things that this person needs to heal. Where it says, don't listen to other people, trust yourself to know the truth. This person doesn't really know how to do that, is what I feel like. And I also feel like they have a karmic tie. They could have a karmic tie with someone else, where it's like, because for some, their heart is with another right now, and they have to finish this karmic contract in order to be free. So it's like they're with that person. They don't really want to be with that person. They have feelings for you. They played a lot of games. They thought, I feel like this person thought that you were going to be in a one-sided connection. And what they see is that you're not. And so it's like you took your power back, but it leaves them to be with that karmic, which clearly they must not have strong feelings over. And I say that because it's like this person watches you change and grow so much, and they're trying to release their attachment to identity so that they can change too. And part of the thing is that this person doesn't have a strong emotional connection to this karmic person. It's more like they might have been married for a long time, they have investments together, they have things that have kept this person with connected to them, but it's their heart is with you. They've always changed. They just weren't willing to let all of that go. And that's why they are conflicted about whether they really have what it takes to be your partner. And that's really what the problem is. The situation that they're in with this karmic, it keeps them in a place of disempowerment. It keeps them detached from love. With this situation that they have with you, really, they do have feelings. However, they would have to heal themselves. They would have to step it up and understand they have past life connections with you. So memories are continuously surfacing and unsurfacing. And we saw that twice. We see that twice within this reading, that there's a very strong past life connection. So it seems like this person met you, kept you out of their life because they were still connected to a karmic, but not sexually, but still connected. Thought that you'd put up with it. You didn't put up with it. This person actually is burdened because now that you detach, they're stuck with that karmic. They're not really happy about it, because they have past life connection with you. There's a very strong chemistry. And I feel like they tried to make themselves stay in that karmic connection too with their addictions, with checking out, with their addictions. Like I said, this is the way that they escaped from it, but they can't because they're still like obsessed with you. And the reason why is because they still want to find out about you, watch you on social media. But the problem is, again, this person stays connected to that karmic because they don't really know whether they have what it takes to be with you. So if they leave that karmic, they're going to be alone. So that also tells me that they're codependent. So, and the problem is that this person keeps going into their old patterns again and they can't see it. So everything is derived from fear. So they're fighting with themselves right now. Um, but is there a connection? Yeah, there's a connection, but it's at this point, the more that they stay in this energy, the more that you're going to be tempted to disconnect from them because it's like the connection is starting to need clearing because they're not doing anything. It's like they didn't treat you well. And instead of fixing it, they're still trying to kind of strategize on how to come back in, but not because they really want to strategize. It seems like this person's really just not emotionally intelligent. So again, the energy needs clearing. And it needs clearing because they need clearing. Because they don't know whether they have what it takes to be your partner, which they can, it's up to them. But they're like, I'm not going to make a move unless it was a sure thing. Because again, if they move and try to be with you and you're not interested or you don't like them for whatever reason, where are they going to be? And they don't trust themselves enough, is what Spirit saying. I feel insecure and it's pushing me to grow. Like you said, this person's insecure. But so what we see here is, are they ready to do anything? Not 100%. This is actually like healing is a process. So this person's connected to a karmic. They don't really want to be in that connection. They are afraid to leave because if they leave, how do they know that you're really going to want to stay with them? When you met them, they kept you out because that karmic was there, but there's no love really involved. But again, it's a very codependent connection. They have a past life connection with you. So again, they feel horrible about how they treated you because they really have feelings and a desire, but this karmic is there. And so um, we don't see them leaving yet, but we see that there is pushing them to grow. So they're looking at their life and they're taking an assessment over their life. Are they going to do anything? Well, let's see. Are they going to do anything soon? We'll pick from this deck. They're battling in inner demons right now. So I would say no, because again, of part of the addictions is that this person like just has a lot of that, like their trauma from the past that they haven't healed is really their unhealed demons, and they ran away because they felt that they couldn't live up to your needs and your expectations. Like again, they don't know whether they're good enough for you. So it's almost better for them if you don't know whether you would be, with them, keeping a connection to you, but never actually being in a relationship with you, you can never reject them. But then it's really like a useless connection, because they're still connected to a karmic. You're not going to stay connected to someone that's connected to someone else, regardless of whether they love that person or not, because it comes to respecting you. And what we saw is that they had a problem with that. And they had a problem with that in the beginning because, hey, there was this karmic here. And so, we meet full circle of seeing that they really can't, you know, be in a connection with you until they release that karmic person. And in order for them to really release that karmic person, they'd have to get sober and they'd have to get clear over what they want and they'd have to heal. And I feel like they're battling those inner demons now. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Because you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. What are you supposed to learn from this person? And so again, rage. We look at the inner child wounds to see when we go through the experiences that are traumatic when we're children, we don't logically remember them. We associate with the emotion of that trauma. So again, being brought up with a parent that's always rageful or having a parent that doesn't show up for you, or a parent that embarrasses you, all being a reason for rage against self-love, not loving yourself enough, knowing how to cleanse oneself, wonder of the wonders of the world, the wonders within inside of you. Deck is so stiff. Look, we see, we see, we see self-sabotage, we see feelings of unworthiness, feelings of uh, belittled, vulnerability, and inner authority. So these are the inner child wounds, and sometimes they're gifts. So whenever we see, like again, belittled and feeling unworthy, we know that there's emotional abuse and where we don't really feel loved or supported. When we don't really feel loved and supported, we feel like we don't have an anchor, and that's support. You see, father like child, well, same thing. It's support, love, it's nurturing, it's anchored, being in the here and now, being connected to the physical world through feeling strong and secure within the family structure. So that wasn't what happened. And it wasn't what happened because you had an extremely angry parent, a parent that was angry all the time and took their anger out on you, made you feel, not good enough, like you were unworthy. To be belittled is to psychologically and emotionally be abused. So when we grow up in that type of environment, we're not grounded as much because again, we were conditioned in an environment where we were taught not to trust. And that's where we wind up having self-sabotaging behaviorisms. And so it's those habits and those behaviorisms that were formed in childhood from that environment where the angry parent was so you overdid, care too much about your survival instead of your like creating yourself and the survival more or less by overgiving, overdoing, and not getting in return. Understand that you are always overgiving and overdoing to keep that angry person from not blowing their gasket onto you. So understand, like, if you were conditioned in an environment like that, that means that you're overly sensitive to the tone of the parent, overly sensitive to certain words that that parent is using. And again, it was a survival mechanism. Intuitively, you would know what to do in order to like diffuse like any like trigger, and that because your survival, perceived survival, emotionally and psychologically depended on it. Because when this parent would get triggered, they would take their abuse out on you. So again, pain going into relationships and overgiving and overdoing, and that because you have those survival mechanisms is self-sabotaging, when meanwhile you also have really strong intuition because you grew up in an environment where you had to again pay attention to the tone of the parent's voice, pay attention to like little mannerisms and behaviorisms that would tell you how to navigate that environment for your emotional and psychological safety. And so you can still use that gift, Spirit says, but you want to use it in a way where you're making sure that you're always in a place of self-love so that you're not going to overgive and overdo. Self-love does not mean um it means pouring into yourself. It means giving to yourself. It means paying more attention to your own needs, not the needs of people that just come into your life or people that are dating you. They have to earn their spot. And if you're not loving on yourself enough, you're going to give too much. And unconsciously, you're going to teach people to not value you. And that is the reoccurring karmic theme that needs to be cleared. You have the potential to clear it, Spirit's saying. And it's you got to clear it by learning how to become vulnerable. And that's really difficult because you were taught not to trust your environment. And so trust comes from trusting yourself. And so Spirit says there's a big old world out there. And there's so much you don't know about yourself. And there's just so much that life has to offer that you don't know. So why even stay connected to somebody that is so angry, and they have so many spiritual blockages at this point, Yeah, they have feelings, but they have problems. They can't fix this now, and they're not going to. And it's not about you waiting, is what Spirit's saying. This connection was a karmic connection. And it was a good thing that, they didn't really give enough for you to really get hurt. They kept you out because they connected to somebody else. So Spirit says, but they did come into your life and they did trigger certain spiritual blockages. And those spiritual blockages of, again, being neglected, feeling like you're not important, feeling again not loved. I mean, really, that's what it is. And being angry over it because, hey, you're making me feel like I'm unworthy because you're not giving me the time. And when I say something, then you mock me by belittling me when, like, I'm not allowed to have feelings. And Spirit says, again, you're allowed to have feelings. However, no one should be able to make you feel a certain way about yourself. And so you can integrate that, where again, feeling like unworthy, just because, again, if you're going to put all your eggs in this person's carton, you're obviously not going to get anything. When really you have limitless potential. The only limits that you actually have are the ones that you put on yourself. You can achieve great things and are here to create great things. Again, there's a whole other world outside. Have courage to act from a place of love instead of fear. Let your heart guide you, and that means know that there's better out there. This person keeps you in a place of limitation and fear because of their spiritual blockages. You don't want to inherit their karma just because they have feelings and they don't know how to deal with it. And that's their issue. Is again, Spirit says, flow with grace, navigate difficulties with calm and acceptance, be at peace with yourself, because that's how you get strong. You get to go with the flow of life when you're strong within yourself. And you realize that you have infinite possibilities. The only reason why this person came into your life was to alchemize that energy, is what Spirit's saying. That's the only reason, to help you rise above, to let go of who you thought you were, to become who you truly are, really. Spirit saying that's why this situation happened, to awaken things. And then Spirit says, take bold action, take a leap of faith in a new direction, step out of your comfort zone, because that's where real change comes from. And you want to create that, especially if you're attracting people that are making you feel unworthy. No one again should make you feel like that. When meanwhile, it's this person that lives out of balance. Spirit says, understand that you have bright horizons. Envision a future filled with potential and opportunities. See your own genius. It's like this person made you feel bad. But again, what it really was to help you to see your own genius. Like you would have not seen it if this person didn't treat you that bad. And that's and you wouldn't have gotten mad enough to take bold action in a new direction. And you had to get angry and you had to get triggered in order for that energy to come up, in order for you to awaken to what that wound was that was keeping you stuck, in order to alchemize the energy, to use that adversity and turn it into an opportunity. And that opportunity, like I said, comes when you intuitively take that leap of faith, meaning like intuitively you're led to take that leap of faith. It's like, do you know, is the path 100% clear? No, but you're strong within yourself. It doesn't need to be clear. You're becoming strong within yourself. This way you can attract that same energy into your life. That's why. So we leave off with one more card, and that is a new opening. When one door closes, be confident that another one will open, and it will be for your betterment. So you're not supposed to be with this person, and that you accept that life brings challenges and you acknowledge the opportunities and learn, and they present the learnings that they present to you, and that serenity comes from within. And didn't I tell you that's what it is? Spirit saying this situation, like in with this connection rather, was just came into your life to help you heal, those things that were in balance with inside of you, for you to see your greatness, for you to let go of who you thought you were, to step into who you really are, so that you can again see all the infinite possibilities which come from when you take bold action and you take a quantum jump into a new, just doing something different. And that's how you flow with grace, is really spirit saying that's what it is, that there's bright horizons on the future if you allow it. It's like, which we see that you are, but that's what you're supposed to do to alchemize the energy. Is that you're not supposed to feel unworthy because you had a parent belittle you and then keep attracting people that make you feel unworthy. That was a karmic theme where spirit's saying, no one should make you, again, should be able to even make you feel that way. It's like when you see yourself differently by taking that leap of faith and by alchemizing the energy, well, no one will be able to make you see that. And the reason why is because you'll have all these different opportunities and have different things that fill you up with happiness and joy. They wouldn't be able to do that to you, is what spirit says. So we leave off with one more message, which, oh, wait a second, I think I already did, which, yes, but we'll pull another one since I said that, which is success, that grow and thrive in the universe. Discover the purity of your heart and the higher wisdom that guides you towards victory. Direct your thoughts towards clarity and nurture wisdom, love, and goodness within you. And that you are free now and to succeeding in your life. So by what spirit is saying is really like this situation helped, like, clear out this negative energy by you becoming aware of it, and then never letting anyone make you feel unworthy. And then so that you could actually succeed in life, really, so that you can thrive. Because really, this person represented a blockage, not never to be in your life. So this was a past life karmic mate that had the potential to create negative karma because like they're still connected to somebody else and they wouldn't have never given you or really never let you in. So it would have been a one-sided connection. And that's what you saw. And that's what you said, well, you're not giving me anything. You're making me feel. And spirit says, yes. And that's why you had to alchemize that energy. Now success, new horizons, everything possible, like is in your future because you know your worth. You know your worth. That's why this person is lost control. That's why they're fanatical right now. That's why they're obsessive, because you know your worth. It's like you're disgusted with them and they're disgusted with themselves too, but they don't know how to fix this and they can't fix it. They're in a place of healing. And that's why spirit says it's their karma. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.